So what I'm going to do today is show you the angle that the front landing gear brackets are welded at in relation to the frame on my Alpine. And if you notice, I'm using the square, and we've got it butted up nice and square, running the entire length of the bracket that's welded. And if you look at the level, it's of course anywhere but level, and we'll demonstrate that. And you can see that to obtain a level, this is how much that bracket is actually sticking out. And we're going to do the same thing on the right front landing gear. And you notice that we have the square butted up against the frame of the mounting bracket, and you can see where the level is at. And to obtain a level indication on this, we would have to kick out the square, and hopefully that you can see how much we've kicked it out. So in fact, you can see your front landing gear, the brackets are welded so that the front landing gear are going to be canted outward, and we'll take a look at the mid and rear levelers and see what they look like. So we'll try to give you a video here. We're looking at the right side mid leveler bracket, and we're going to put the square up against it, and you can see, of course, that this leg is also canted outward. And if I move the square away from the bracket, and you can see how much I've moved it away, and I'll show you by moving it. This is how much we have to move it out to show a level indication. So on my 2014 Alpine, the front landing gear and the center leveler legs, they're both canted outward. So now what we'll do is we'll take a look at the rear leveler legs and see how they're mounted. Okay, we're now back at the left rear leveler leg, and we'll put the level up, and we've got it square against the welded bracket on the frame. As you can see, we're nice and square, and you can see in this case that this bracket is welded so that it's very close to level. So let's go and look at the right rear leveler, and let's see if it's the same way. And now we are looking at the right rear leveler, and you can see that we have the square is nice and flush against the mounting bracket, and you can see that we are canted outward. Surprisingly, the left rear was pretty close to level, and we'll see how much I would have to move this away to obtain a level indication. And so we're going to move this, you can see me moving the level away from the mounting bracket that's welded onto the frame. And so to obtain a level indication, this is how much that bracket would have to have been tilted away. So why the rears are different in comparison to the front is an answer that I don't have. Quite frankly, it's something I've never checked before on the Alpine, but on this 2014, the front landing gear are canted outward. The center left and right levelers are all canted outward, and the right rear is canted outwards, whereas the left rear was almost level. So whoever welded the brackets on, for some reason, unbeknownst to me, they ended up, and you can hear the train coming by. Every time I video, a train's got to come by, it seems like. But that's the best answer that I can give you. And so if you're curious, you can go check your mounting brackets and see how they are welded. And you can also look at the welds. They did a pretty good job on these welds. This Alpine is this is its 8th season, so it's it's seen some road service up and down the road, and you'll see a little bit of surface rust up on here, and you could worry yourself to death about that if you wanted to. I used to get under here and hit it with a wire brush and spray paint it, and I still do to some extent, but for the most part, you know, I've traveled over salted roads in the wintertime and things like that, and had no way to rinse the chassis down, so that's why we ended up with a little bit of surface rust. Not going to hurt a thing, in my opinion.